And good morning. I'm just going to do the title and jump right in this morning. 2012, Tim Turner comments on David Wilcock and Drake interview. Okay, I wasn't planning on talking about this anymore for a while. But after listening to the Republic Roundtable call last night, I need to share this. The sense of urgency in Republic calls over the past few weeks was even more so last night. The level of preparation has gone to a new level. And when Tim Turner talked about listening to the entire 3-hour Drake interview, my ears perked up. He likes Drake and spoke highly of him, except noting that he has been misinformed. He sees many freedom advocates coming together as the de facto collapses. So do I. And I provide a recording of the call from last night, the link to it, in the comment section for YouTube, and it'll be, of course, on Facebook. Let me say that after the call ended, and I didn't actually wait till the very end because it was pushing on 11:30 and I was feeling tired. However, even after turning it off, I was still awake at midnight. I was still awake at 1 o'clock, and I was still awake at 2 o'clock. I might have dozed a little bit between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. During that 2-hour period, I was in and out of being awake and looking at the clock. I looked at the clock numerous times right up until I got out of bed around 4 o'clock. And I was in prayer and meditation throughout the night. I don't remember dreaming at all, but people on my prayer list and the country and everything that's happening in the world was coming back to me again and again throughout the time, from the time that I finished listening and shut the call off until I actually got out of bed this morning, and then I went into the meditation room only briefly because I was already in the meditative state before. But as I came to the computer, there was no doubt that I needed to talk about this. Folks, I realize all of the words that have flown back and forth, over people calling names and saying bad things about the Republic, and me, trying to defend the Republic and everything. What is happening, and I sense that in listening to various people speak, including Tim Turner, I sense that there's an awareness that the collapse of the United States government, which of course will send repercussions around the world, is, as Drake has been saying, very imminent. Tim Turner reported that over just the past couple of weeks, there have been more offers of funding for the Republic than they've ever seen in the entire time that they've been working on this. Previously, there was, I guess, one primary source, but there's been more sources, more powerful trusts and whatnot that have opened up and are ready to make available funding to get the Republic up and running, to make the transition as smooth as possible. Although Tim Turner warned, as Drake has, that there could be some serious unrest when the news media start reporting the truth, which both said that they will. There will be a period of re-education, and there will be some people that will not like the idea that the government as we have known it is coming down. But it is inevitable that this is what's happening. And as I said, I mean, they're preparing on for the distribution of funding. They're preparing for a whole lot of organizational changes and educational changes that need to take place in the Republic. And I have a feeling that there's going to be more and more people coming in and working toward getting our government working as it's supposed to work under the constitutional restraints and other aspects that are going to smooth us into a better world, a better nation, and a better world. I was mostly very optimistic from what I heard last night. Mostly very optimistic. Now, I want to say that I watched part of the Occupy Wall Street education thing yesterday morning, and that's what I had in the back of my mind as a potential for talking about today, and especially the economic part. And all it is, it's more of right-left paradigm thinking of blaming the conservatives, the liberals blaming the conservatives, and saying that the reason our country got to where it is because of the conservative policies since Ronald Reagan era. And that had a lot to do with it, but a lot of it was under President Clinton that was put into effect. Of course, Clinton and Bush's have been on the same team for a long time. I mean, they worked together when Clinton was governor of Arkansas and Bush was running his CIA planes out of Mena, Arkansas, in one of the largest cocaine rings going on in the world, probably. And Clinton was part of that and working with George Bush at that time. They've never been on opposite sides, even though they've played the game of being on opposite sides. But in any case, there's a whole new paradigm being introduced. And I agree with those that see a unity consciousness coming into play here, because it has to. Because it has to. In the past, there has been almost a hope that the de facto would hang on for a while till the Republic could sort of gain its bearing and get its footing. But that is giving way, as I said, to a sense of urgency, with the realization that there is an imminency to the arrest of these people. In fact, there's a headline here that I'm looking at that says Illuminati cabal flees by the hundreds as mass arrests await them from states becoming free. There's going to be states in the United States that are becoming free. They're going to be exercising sovereignty, and it's going to happen around the world. I mean, this is the wave that we're in. The Galactic Federation, and people don't like that either. They don't see it, but they are here to help with as much as they can to make a peaceful transition. I don't care whether you believe it or not. I don't care what any of you believe. There are changes that we're in. We're going to have to, as Tim Turner said last night, we're going to have to humble ourselves and pray that Spirit works in humanity to whatever degree we are willing to allow, so that we can be transformed into the people that we need to be to bring about the changes that are occurring and must occur. Peace on earth is coming, but there is going to be some unrest in the short-term interim. Drake has talked about that. Tim Turner talked about that. Others have talked about that. It is inevitable when you have such a major shift in paradigms that there's going to be people that are going to try to take advantage of the situation and behave poorly. There's going to be aspects of the military and of the police forces that are going to resist the changes until the truth becomes blatantly obvious that the funding is no longer going to be with the criminals. The funding is going to be with the people whose heart's desire is to set things straight and to bring a compassionate era into existence, which is the beginning stages of establishing the kingdom of heaven on earth. And people aren't liking that there's still going to be government, but there has to be. People aren't going to be liking that there's still going to be a monetary system, but there has to be. There has to be a bridge between the old and the new. The only alternative is to wipe out the old completely, which is cataclysmic, which is catastrophic, and then bring something new from the ashes. But that's not the way. I'm sincerely convinced in my heart that that's not the way it's going to happen, that the Spirit of God is going to be raising up men and women all over the globe to stand in the gap at this time and provide for the people as much of a sense of stability as is humanly possible, with divine working through us, with the angelic realm or the extraterrestrial realm working with us as it's not been able to work before, but it's going to be able to work now. I'm convinced there's going to be so many things that are going to be happening, and we're right on the threshold of it. There was that sense last night, even for over 2 hours after I hung up or disconnected the call, over 2 hours. I mean, I just had this sense that things are going to be okay. That things are going to be, the changes are going to be coming at people so fast, and there's going to be so many questions. We're not going to have time to keep fighting and name calling, and we're going to have to work together, folks. I'm telling you, this is the way it is. It's the way it has to be. We need to get over our pettiness, over our fears, over our anxieties, and come together, because the world is going to be thrust into a state of emergency as the old collapses. And it's collapsing. It is collapsing. You may not see it yet. You may not want to believe it. Or you may want to believe it and think it's not happening. But it is happening. And we're going to watch it. We're on the front row seats. This spring is going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. As the changes start coming, one after another, after another, after another, and the dominoes fall, and new powers and a right power is going to emerge, a power of unity, a power of compassion, a power of forgiveness. Watch, folks, watch, watch. I'm encouraging you to watch. Stop your judgment as much as you can. Watch as the Spirit of God brings reconciliation in the world. Yes, turmoil will be present also, but if you keep your senses about you and keep your heart and your mind open and your eyes and your ears, you will notice a grace being bestowed upon humanity that enables us to go to the next level in our human development, our human evolution. This is an act of God, if you will, that is of geopolitical and economic significance. What is coming down is an old, corrupt structure. What is being created is a structure, an interim structure, that will ultimately bring peace and prosperity to the entire world. That's how I see it this morning, and even on very little sleep last night, and I hope to sleep, once I get the video uploaded, I hope to be able to get back to sleep and sleep soundly for at least a few hours. That would be so wonderful. In any case, I send you love, and I thank each of you light workers that have been holding on for such a long time, regardless of which side you've appeared to be on. Those of you who have this dream in your heart and this flame of freedom burning in your soul, I just send out such appreciation to you for holding on as best you can when it's been really, really difficult. You are loved and you are appreciated, not just by me, but by an entire angelic realm, by the kingdom of heaven, and by others on earth who are going to be able to see you, and we're going to be able to see each other in a new light, a new compassionate light. And this is going to be so wonderful for all of us. Thank you. Namaste.